How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the preseason interview with the coach of the Texas Tyranitar, the Doorman. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tired. We got busy last minute at work, and then it's one of those just trying to run around to get stuff done. I'm very tired. I'm ready to eat and then take a nap. Well, not take a nap, go to bed.
Yeah, a long nap called sleep.
Yes.
Now to any of the people who may have found you through the Elite Battle League or friends of the Elite Battle League, why don't you go ahead and give a little intro as to who you are, what your channel's about, and all that good stuff.
Okay, so my name is Alan, aka the Doorman, coach of the Texas Tyranitars. We do solo series of like ROM hacks and fan-made games. I do collabs with like, randomizers and stuff like that, and then that different Nuzlocke series and stuff like that. And then that's really about it right now, because I have like 2 collabs going into the solo series, and then EBL starting this few weeks here. So yeah, I'm pretty packed up tight.
I feel that as well.
Yeah.
Now, to get into the interview here, first question up. What is going through your head as we continue to get closer to the start of the season on February 25th?
My whole thought is one of those, just trying to think of the different teams and wondering how I'm going to do it, because I have a way. I think this is the best team I've drafted so far, so I'm trying to figure out how to use it the best I can, if that makes sense. Because like I kind of like, okay, I wanted these natures, these abilities, and I still kept it up with the side, so then I can make the sets later and try to use the sets I can to get the best chance of some victory I can.
I agree, by the way. I think this is your best team. We'll touch more on it later. I do agree. This is probably your best team. Now, are you feeling more or less confident heading into this season compared to your first season?
Definitely more confident now. I've had a little bit more experience, and I definitely have like some. Not that I didn't have the ability beforehand. It's just one of those I've talked to people more, and now I have like practice partners, if that makes sense. Than the first season where I didn't have any practice partners. I pretty much just talked to somebody or figured it out myself, and then try to go from there.
Right.
So I definitely have like help more practice partners and stuff like that, which definitely helps.
So, speaking on your preparations here, how is everything going for you? Preparing your Pokemon and all that good stuff.
I have all of them trained. I got a 6 IV Ditto, and that took me a second to get because I had to use the frame skip method with the random seed and everything. That took me one night to get all the way through. But I have a 6 IV Ditto, which was able to help me out with reading everything and stuff like that. So I just have Swampert left, and then just hyper training everybody.
Has anything changed from the way you used to prepare in the last couple seasons?
I know the first one I tried to keep it just all the one and then change it up as I go along, and then I realized some of the problem with that. So then next season I just tried having like a bunch of Pokemon, but then I'm also like I don't use half these guys, so I kind of trying to combine the two of like only keeping like 2 or 3 Mons, while at the same time like go ahead and start getting prep ready so I can like reset them and stuff like that pretty quickly.
Now, you already kind of touched on a couple of your members here, but looking at the team you drafted, in draft order, you got Yveltal, Glarendomanitan, Blacephalon, Swampert, Grimmsnarl, Espeon, Snorlax, Galvantula, and Lucario. How do you think your draft went?
My draft went really well. So the way, as you could probably see from what he said here, my whole team member is one from each generation, except for, Gen 9 wasn't in here, so I had to use a variation. And what's actually funny is after Pacificlon, Espeon was supposed to be next, because I went with the smallest pool goes first. So that was Gen 6 and then Gen 2. And I didn't want to do Gen 2 Legendaries or anything. I wanted to do an Ultra Beast. So that took up, the Gen 7 there. So that's why I picked Yveltal and Blacephalon, and then I was going to go Gen 2, and then I remember just having a gut feeling, like, let me go ahead and check the water ground type, because everybody's picking all these fire types and everything. I accidentally stole from Landon with that. I also stole the Garlarian Demanitan from Humberto, because I'm glad I snatched it when I did. And then I come to find out I also snatched it Grimmsnarl from I think it's Jakey, and then Humberto also wanted to get Grimmsnarl.
Just
So
took everyone's picks.
pretty much, yeah. So like Swampert and Grimstar were like last second changes. I had a gut feeling I wanted to pick them right then, right now, and I'm glad that I did because I managed to get those two.
That's a great call.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. Um,
Yes.
now, how are you feeling about the? Obviously, you said your draft went really well. So how are you feeling about the team that you were able to put together?
I think it's really well. I've got a different ability, not different. I've got like different type of things. Like I've got some tanks with like the Snorlax, the Swampert a little bit on the physical side, and then I've got some good attackers. Like the Veltal can be a mix. Garmanitan is a great physical attacker. Espeon can be good support. Grimmsnarl's great support. Galvantula is also great support. Lucario can be a mixed attacker. Like it's one of those. I got my walls and I got my support to help with my attackers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now these next couple questions, I say this every time. You do not have to answer these questions. You can give very simple answers to these questions. You don't have to go in depth if you do not want to. You don't basically you don't have to give anything away here. Are there any Pokemon on your team that you feel might get an MVP throughout the season?
I would like maybe Galarian Darmanitan. Or, I don't want to say Swampert because he's kind of slow. I'd have to set up with him pretty well. But the Galarian Darmanitan, I have a strong, probably contender if I could set up right with him and stuff like that. And then maybe a Veltal because he's a mix attacker and he's really fast, stuff like that.
On the flip side, do you think there are any underrated Pokemon on your team?
Probably Espeon and maybe Lucario, because I would say Snorlax, but people's not going to underestimate Snorlax. I would say probably Espeon, and then maybe Lucario a little bit.
Okay. You mentioned being able to try and use your team a lot better than you may have in the past. Mm-hmm. How confident are you in your ability to fully utilize this team to its max potential?
As of the time of this moment, probably not 100%, but as I get to level 100 and start thinking about the teams and everything and have a couple practice battles, I'll probably get more and more confident each time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would say right now like 75%, and then as I get to do it more, I can get more practice in. I'll be able to get more confident.
Get a pretty good spot already, though, I would say. Do you think your team will be able to stack up against the rest of the league?
I think out of the seasons that I've had, this team probably has a way better shot than most of the other teams, I would say.
Now moving back to the league here, as a whole, you're in the Kanto division. Well, I guess specifically your division. You're in the Kanto division alongside the Fort Sill Warriors, the reigning champs, the New York Metangs, and then the Snowdonian Frostmoths. What were your thoughts when you saw who you were paired with?
Crap. I'm not gonna lie, because it's Humberto again, and I'm like, oof, that's a hard fight to try to win. And I know Max has said that he's done competitive and stuff like that a lot, so I'm not underestimating him at all. And then I don't remember who's the Frostmoth. Jakey. Okay. I think it's one of those I would have to worry the most about, maybe Max's and Humberto, not discounting Jakey, but I don't know what his experience are with VGC and stuff like that. I have no idea.
So obviously you're gonna be facing those three guys in your schedule. In week 1 you're taking on New York. Week 2 you're taking on Humberto. Week 3, excuse me, you are taking on Mr. Toast and the Montebello Marpico. Week 4 you're taking on myself, and then week 5 you will round out your season against Jakey. Did seeing your schedule make you more excited for the season to start?
I definitely want to try a rematch against you, because like you managed to set up with the Mewtwo, it just went thick, and I just went, oh, okay, I just died then. Okay, so it's one of those. Hopefully, we get to have a better match this time, and then I want to try to have a better match against Humberto, and then I have the 3 new people for me to fight, and I'm like, okay, I want to see what they got. So I would say yes, I'm definitely more excited about this season than I am normally.
In terms of difficulty, how would you rate your schedule out of 10?
7 to 8. Because I know you and Humberto are definitely experienced in VGC, are definitely difficult opponents. Like I said, I know I haven't seen Max's fight, but I know he said he's went to regionals and stuff like that, so he's probably gonna be pretty decent. And then I don't know how the other two are gonna be by the time I get to them.
Right.
Because I won't get to Montebello until like week 3, which then he'll have some experience, and then I won't get to Jakey till week 5. So
On the other hand, I mean, you'll still have more footage on them. You'll be able to see how they play at least.
Yeah.
Is there anyone, excuse me, not on your schedule that you would like to face at some point?
Max. It's just one of those we're just rivals. It's one of those I want to fight Max, and then Pidge. I want to fight Pidge again. Because I think our last 2 fights last season was just really good, except for the second one. But even then, it was still kind of decent.
Until Mew came out. Freaking Mew. Now, looking at the league here, which teams do you feel are looking the most dangerous, not included?
Let me see. The Mega Conference. There's a lot of good teams here, honestly. Because nobody did theme teams this year. I mean, this season. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Fort Sill Warriors, Humberto, with his team. Just because the fact that he's got 2 to 3, almost 4 to 5 members he's used before, or he's seen someone else use it, so he knows how to use them really effectively. And then for the Dynamax here, I'm gonna say Timmy, either Timmy or Max. Because Timmy's got a lot of good Pokemon. He's got a lot of good Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay. I agree. On the flip side, are there any teams you feel might be underestimated right now but perform beyond the expectations that are put on them?
I had to think about it because I was looking at something. As far as the Dynamax, Nate, because I know he said he's been battling a lot, and with the last 2 seasons, how he has been, I want to say he is not underestimated, but he's going to pull out very good this season because from how many practice battles he's had and stuff like that. So even with his team, the Pokemon he's got, I feel like he's going to do really good with them. And then as far as the Mega Conference, the TJ dropouts. I want to say the Smoosh.
Yeah.
Because that's like, this when it was Matt's team at first, then it went to Genji, or it went to Smoosh, and then it went to Genji, then it went back to Smoosh. So it's one of those like, that team's going to be underrated because of the fact of how many different coaches have had that team. So it's one of those like, can we prepare it in enough time and learn how to use it, I would say.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be really interesting to see how he adjusts to that because that is crazy.
Oh my gosh, he was like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Robots where it was the Robert Williams robot when he was like, "I'm not in your room. Now I am. Now I'm not." I'm not. Basically, what happened with that team.
Yeah, that poor team went through a lot. Those poor Pokemon. Now, focusing back in on your team here. How do you think you will perform this season?
I know it'll be definitely better because even though it's still a little bit of a theme, I was able to pull really great Pokemon and hopefully have great synergy with each other. As far as Sword and Shield, I don't know if it's going to be my best team overall, but it's going to be like very top there. Because it's not stuck in like a theme per se. Like I said, it is, but it's also not.
It's a very loose theme.
Yeah. It was pretty much just like, okay, these are Pokemon each generation. Once I go through the smallest pools, I can kind of use the bigger pools, help fill in some of the gaps that I need.
Yeah. Now here's your chance to set it in stone. Are there any specific goals you might have for this season, whether short term or long term?
Semifinals.
Ooh.
I managed to make the semifinals last season. I want to make it again this season. I know it was halfway by luck last season, but I want to make it be like, hey, I can make it to semifinals.
I like it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, I like it. And now, the final question to top off the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you going to be champion of the Elite Battle League at the end of the season?
I think I said this the last 2 times, and I'm just going to say it again. RNG. It just depends on how the luck is, because I can prep as much as I want to, but like a lucky crit or a freeze or a paralysis can change the whole battle. So I just end up being lucky enough to win.
Better start praying to the RNG gods.
I'm gonna need it. I'm definitely gonna need it, because sometimes RNG is not good at all.
It's very true, especially with this game.
Yes, I will say though, they came in so much clutch with Bob. I will give them that. I will give the RNG gods that. They came in so much clutch with Bob. Oh, oh! I remember my heart beating after that. Whenever I got the 2 flinches and killed it in a row, just like, there's still a chance.
That was incredible.
I know, like I said, they were merciful that day. Oh my gosh.
All right, that's the interview portion of this out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to you. You can go ahead and plug everything you got going on, everything you know, videos you got on your channel, series you got on your channel, projects coming up, merch, all that good stuff. This is your time. Take it away.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, Solar Series, we're doing Fakemons. I am doing a Pokemon Emerald ROM hack called Pokemon Sirius, and it's supposed to be 3 years after a meteor shower hit the Hoenn region, and they're trying to rebuild, going through the region with like new Fakemons and old Mons, stuff like that. It's cool. I've played it once before, but I didn't finish the whole series, so I'm redoing it. I have the Reborn Cage Lock with Mike. I think we're up to badge 8 or 9, because this has like 18 badges in it. No, 16 badges in it. And so we each do a fight out of the cage match and stuff like that. So it's a long one. And then we just started a new one with the commissioner, Pokepidge. We're doing an Oras versus. And it's kind of fun. It's one of those, like, we're having good vibes and everything. It's kind of a new collab, and I'm liking it so far.
Well, be sure to subscribe so you not miss any of that awesome stuff. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This was our preseason interview with the coach of the Texas Tyranitar, the Doorman. Be sure to show some love his way alongside all the other coaches in the Elite Battle League. Are there any final words you have for the fans of Texas out there?
I'm going to give it my best shot, and if not, just leave it all on the field.
Love it. Love it. I wish you good luck, sir, with this season, and we'll be seeing all of you watching real soon for the start of Season 5 on February 25th. Take care.
Bye.